The story that had dominated headlines for months finally reached its breaking point. As investigators gathered testimony and evidence, Monica Lewinsky found herself caught in the middle of a political battle far larger than anything she had imagined. She was no longer simply a former White House intern. Her name had become part of one of the biggest political scandals in American history. Every newspaper, television network, and radio station wanted the latest update, and the intense media attention followed her everywhere she went. Every public appearance became front-page news, while every rumor spread across the country within hours. When the investigation intensified, Monica made one of the most difficult decisions of her life. In exchange for immunity, she agreed to cooperate with investigators and testify truthfully about what had happened. The decision was not easy, but it meant she could avoid criminal prosecution while helping establish the facts of the case. Her testimony became a key part of the investigation, placing enormous pressure on the White House and adding new momentum to the impeachment proceedings against President Bill Clinton. As details continued to emerge, President Clinton eventually admitted that he had engaged in an inappropriate relationship with Monica Lewinsky after months of public denials. His televised statement shocked millions of Americans. While many people focused on the political consequences for the president, Monica suddenly found herself facing a different kind of punishment. She became the center of worldwide attention, often portrayed as the villain rather than a young woman caught in an extraordinary situation. Late-night comedians turned her into an easy target. Television shows joked about her almost every night. Magazine covers mocked her appearance, while tabloids published stories about nearly every aspect of her personal life. Long before social media existed, Monica experienced something remarkably similar to what many people today call online shaming. The internet was still in its early years, but websites, blogs, and online discussion boards spread endless jokes and criticism, making it nearly impossible for her to escape public judgment. The emotional toll was devastating. Monica later explained that she rarely left her home during those difficult months because photographers constantly waited outside. Even simple errands became impossible without attracting attention. Friends drifted away, job opportunities disappeared, and strangers often recognized her immediately. The intense scrutiny affected nearly every part of her daily life. Despite everything, Monica attempted to rebuild her future. In 1999, she sat down with legendary journalist Barbara Walters for what became one of the most watched television interviews in history. Millions of viewers tuned in to hear her side of the story. During the interview, Monica openly discussed her mistakes, accepted responsibility for her role in the scandal, and expressed regret for the pain caused to many people. The interview reportedly earned her significant income and briefly allowed her to regain control of her own narrative. Soon afterward, she published her memoir, Monica's Story, which quickly became a bestseller. Rather than focusing only on the scandal itself, the book explored her upbringing, her emotions, and the enormous challenges of living through one of the most public controversies of the 20th century. The memoir generated substantial sales around the world, providing another important source of income during a time when traditional employment opportunities remained limited. Financially, however, success proved far more complicated than many people assumed. Although Monica earned large sums from interviews and publishing deals, legal fees, taxes, security expenses, and the difficulty of maintaining steady employment consumed much of that income. Many employers hesitated to hire someone whose name remained permanently associated with political controversy. The public often assumed she had become wealthy for life, but reality told a very different story. Determined to move beyond the headlines, Monica explored several business ventures. One of her most ambitious projects involved launching her own handbag collection. Rather than simply licensing her name, she actively participated in designing fashionable handbags aimed at women looking for stylish but practical accessories. Major department stores agreed to carry the collection, and for a brief period it appeared she might successfully reinvent herself as an entrepreneur. The fashion business generated positive attention, but it also faced significant obstacles. Many customers remained unable to separate Monica's products from her controversial public image. Although reviewers often praised the quality and creativity of the handbags, sales eventually slowed, making it difficult for the company to continue expanding. Once again, the past proved impossible to escape. Television producers also recognized that Monica remained one of the most recognizable figures in America. She accepted several hosting opportunities, including appearances on reality television and various international programs. One of the most talked-about projects featured her as the host of a dating show that attracted curiosity from audiences simply because of her involvement. Initial ratings were encouraging, but public interest faded quickly, and the series ended after only a short run. These experiences taught Monica an important lesson. Fame alone could attract attention, but it could not guarantee long-term success or lasting respect. She gradually stepped away from constant media appearances, choosing instead to focus on education and personal growth. Rather than chasing celebrity opportunities, she quietly pursued a more meaningful direction for her life. In the years that followed, Monica enrolled at the London School of Economics, where she earned a master's degree in social psychology. The decision surprised many observers who expected her to remain in the entertainment industry. Instead, she dedicated herself to understanding human behavior, public perception, and the psychological effects of shame. Her academic studies would later shape the next chapter of her remarkable journey. By the late 2000s, Monica had largely disappeared from public view. Unlike many celebrities who constantly seek attention, she intentionally chose privacy. She rarely gave interviews and turned down numerous offers that could have earned millions of dollars. Although such opportunities promised immediate financial rewards, she believed accepting them would only reinforce the image she was trying to leave behind. This period of relative silence puzzled many people. Some assumed she had retired from public life altogether. Others speculated about her finances, claiming she possessed an enormous fortune hidden from public view. In reality, Monica was carefully rebuilding both her confidence and her reputation away from the cameras. Little did the world realize that her biggest comeback was still ahead. Instead of returning as a television personality or tabloid celebrity, Monica Lewinsky was preparing to reintroduce herself as an author, producer, public speaker, and advocate against cyberbullying. Her next chapter would not focus on the mistakes of her 20s. Instead, it would transform those painful experiences into lessons that could help millions of others facing public humiliation in the digital age. And that remarkable transformation would eventually become the true foundation of her modern career, and the real reason her financial story looks very different today than many people expect. After years of staying largely out of the spotlight, Monica Lewinsky realized that she could no longer allow one chapter of her life to define her entire future. She had spent more than a decade trying to outrun a story that followed her everywhere, but eventually she reached a different conclusion. Instead of hiding from her past, she would confront it directly and use it to help others. That decision marked the beginning of the most meaningful phase of her career. In 2014, Monica returned to public life with a deeply personal essay published in Vanity Fair. Rather than revisiting old political arguments, she focused on the emotional cost of public humiliation and the lasting effects of being shamed on a global scale. Her words resonated with readers who had experienced bullying, harassment, and online abuse. For the first time in many years, public opinion began to shift. Many people who had once viewed her only through the lens of scandal started to see a thoughtful, intelligent woman whose life had been permanently altered by extraordinary circumstances. The following year, Monica delivered a TED Talk titled The Price of Shame. The presentation quickly spread around the world, reaching millions of viewers. During the talk, she described herself as one of the first people to experience worldwide internet humiliation. She spoke openly about the depression, anxiety, and isolation she endured while encouraging society to treat victims of public shaming with greater compassion. Her message struck a powerful chord in an era when social media had made online harassment more common than ever before. That speech transformed Monica's public image. Universities invited her to speak about digital ethics, mental health, and resilience. Major corporations asked her to address employees about empathy, leadership, and responsible online behavior. Conferences around the world welcomed her as a keynote speaker, allowing her to build a respected career that had nothing to do with the scandal that once defined her life. Her work soon expanded beyond public speaking. Monica became an outspoken advocate against cyberbullying and online harassment, partnering with organizations dedicated to improving digital safety and encouraging healthier online communities. X.